Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. This is your Tuesday night edition of Takeover Tuesday. So, when it comes down to critiquing Caitlin Clark or talk about the Indiana Fever, you know, us Caitlin Clark fans, Indiana Fever fans, content creators, we kick it to you from a basketball standpoint. But when you have mainstream media and all of these ex-players that gets these podcasts and just want to get on a hot topic because it's nice to talk about, then you have to really question their motive. And I try to look at it from a different standpoint, but you can't, because these ex-basketball players, or for instance, if Steph Curry retired today, he got a podcast and he was talking about Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark and the players on it, I'm sure he will tell you the importance of Caitlin Clark, not trying to downplay her ability or downplay how she plays because you trying to up somebody else. And this notion for the last couple of days, a week, about how the Indiana Fever were playing or how they so much better without Caitlin Clark. First, you had Carolyn Peck come out and say this nonsense because the Fever had won a couple of games without Caitlin Clark. And then guess what happened right after she said that? They got the doors blown off of them. Stop minimizing the fact that Caitlin Clark, what she means to this team. Without her, this team does not go nowhere. I don't care what you say. You could, Kelsey Mitchell could score 40 points a game. If they ain't winning, it don't really matter to nothing. Kelsey Mitchell had a good game against the Chicago Sky, 35 points. Okay, she has another test tomorrow night against the Phoenix Mercury. Let me see her score 30-something points. Let me see her put this team on her back and will them to a win. She can't do it. She doesn't have the gravity like Caitlin Clark does. Caitlin Clark is on everybody's scouting report. Kelsey Mitchell is not on everybody's scouting report. They don't defend Kelsey Mitchell like they defend Caitlin Clark. But then you get Jeff Teague and his clown podcasters on his show talking about, oh, well, except for one, because he was talking about how Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell was the best backcourt in the W last year, and if she wasn't hurt, they would have been the best backcourt, which I agree with that, because there's no formidable backcourt in the WNBA like them. But I'm gonna let y'all listen to what these clowns had to say, because it's funny to me that they continue to go with this Reddit and continue to do this. But then they say, well, Caitlin Clark, we don't want to critique her, and we just do stuff for clicks. But then you turn around, you see stuff like this. What you think? What do you think their motive is?
Q is through the roof.
Yeah. We don't need CC. Let me rock out.
I've been saying that. I ain't trying to start no riffraff, but that zero clean.
So let me hold it down.
Nah, she cold. And when CC's back healthy, that's the best backcourt in the W.
See, he always he's trying to push this CC narrative. She good, but she not that good.
I said when she's healthy, they're the best backcourt in the W. That's
that's Bayless right there.
First of all, when I was saying last year, the best thing we could have did was get Kelsey Mitchell back. Y'all wasn't even tapped in enough. So we've been locked in. Don't even worry about them.
I said she was the best player on the team.
Oh man, he was out of pocket, but respect to Kelsey.
How was that out of
best on the team,
bro? She's the best on the team.
She not playing. CC not playing. They ain't missing a beat, bro. They actually look a little better.
Cause they ain't shooting them wild ass threes.
She got half court. It look real fluent out there.
Nah, she's cold.
I'm starting to Caitlin Clark. Hey, trying
me doing that.
He said that he's starting that Caitlin Clark hate trend. He talking about she's good, but she's not that good. But this is the same guy that said this about Caitlin Clark. Do you remember? Jeff T literally just said Caitlin Clark isn't good on a podcast, saying the Fever are better without her. This after he called her a one-trick pony. Oh well, he's wrong. Move on. See, he knows what he's doing. He's trying to bait people into these little conversations. And that's what I feel that's what's going on here. Because he knows good and well she's not a one trick pony. If you watched anything about her in Iowa and what she did, assist wise and scoring wise and breaking records, and then what she did when she came into the W in her rookie season, come on, one trick pony. You sound like Kennedy Carter with that. What all she do is shoot threes, but then she went on and dropped buckets on your head. And then the other guy said, "Oh, well, the Indiana Fever ain't missed a beat. They haven't missed a beat." Well, let me show you this. And this is from Kayla off of X. Without CC, they have lost to Atlanta, Connecticut, LA, DC, New York twice in a blowout. With CC, they only lost 5 times in that stretch because they didn't put the Valkyries game up there. So you take that and say they lost 6 times by the without CC, and they only beat over 500 teams, and they beat LA twice. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this here is that, come on, man, what are we doing? What are we doing here? The your talking points don't add up to what you trying to say. It's the Chicago Sky, the worst team in the W, one of the worst teams in the W. And then guess what? Guess what happens? They beat them. They struggled to beat them, to be honest with you, because Kelsey Mitchell had to score 35 points. Natasha Howard didn't give you no buckets. If Natasha Howard had gave you at least 14 points and everybody else had contributed a little bit more, guess what? Her point total would have went down to about 20-something points. You see how that is? But she had to do that to win a game against a bottom 500 team. Let me see her do it against the Phoenix Mercury, where she scored 35 points and she puts the team on her back and they beat the Mercury tomorrow night. Then I give her a little bit more credit. She's what Kelsey Mitchell's doing is what the team is constructed to do. Continue to keep afloat until Caitlin Clark comes back. Win the games that you need to win. But there are games that they don't win. They should win. All of this narrative about, oh, she's the best player on the team. We already debunked that because she's not the best player. Kelsey Mitchell is not the best player on the team. She's the third best player on the team, to be honest with you. It's Caitlin, Aaliyah Boston, then Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell is a pure shooter. She's the best scorer on the team, but she hasn't done anything in her career to make you believe that this team is better without Caitlin Clark, prior to Caitlin Clark and after Caitlin Clark. It doesn't add up. So I'm sitting here to tell you why would Jeff Teague get on his podcast? Well, again, I'll tell you why. Because he wants to, quote unquote, get attention. That's it. His podcast probably is struggling in numbers. He probably ain't doing well. He can't keep up with some of the big podcasts. Then you look at Aaliyah Boston and Candace Parker. They coming out with their new podcast, Post Moves. Yeah, Candace Parker, I just shouted you out. And he's going to be in competition with all these podcasts. But talking negative about Caitlin Clark gets him attention. You know what I'm saying? That's how this works, you know. But he's not talking about her in a basketball sense. He's just talking about it as a personal sense where, oh, I'm a Kelsey Mitchell fan. She's better for the team. But if that's the case, why they have not made the playoffs in 7 of the 8 years that she's been with the team? That's why I'll be trying to get y'all to understand, because these people don't know what they're talking about. They just talk to be talking. So like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know what it is. Until the next episode, Live Wire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.